This video is quite different than the videos that I've been making for a couple of weeks. Today is going to be a video explaining to you guys why I actually don't want kids later or a kid later. So I'm going to be explaining it from the beginning to the end, my reasons why I don't actually want a kid later. So enjoy the video, man. Okay, so this is something that people ask me quite often. Do you want kids later or just a kid in general? Well, I can't decide if I want a kid later. My wife decides that, I guess. You know how many she lets out of her body, I suppose, right? But I guess that's the thing. I actually don't want a kid later. And there are quite some reasons for that. And the biggest reason for me is actually I don't want a kid. Now, don't get me wrong. I think children are great in their own sort of kind of way, I guess. My sister is exceptional. She is the greatest thing ever created. Even though she wasn't actually planned. She was quite an accident, just like my brother. I am very grateful and happy that I actually got to it in my life, because it's an amazing little kid, and I hope she grows out to become an amazing person as well, just like me, obviously, you know. Now, but all jokes aside, I don't want a kid later, man, because I am just very scared of potentially losing my child. I think this is quite the worst case scenario as a parent that you can think of, losing your child or your child actually losing you. That's kind of crazy to think, I know, but that's genuinely what I'm quite scared of losing my child later, or my child losing me. That I'm not in their life anymore because I'm not alive anymore, or that they aren't alive. And I just can't see myself living with that, potentially for the rest of my actual life. Besides that, I don't actually think I'm personally capable enough of taking care of another person, yet alone my own child, my own creation. I don't think I'll be a good father regardless. You know, I mean, besides that I've got autism, I don't think that's the case. I just generally think I won't be a good father later. I know this sounds kind of weird, but I genuinely don't think I'll be capable enough of taking care of a child later. I really don't think I'm good enough. Don't get me wrong, I do take care of my sister, but that's kind of because I have to. I've got really no choice because my dad's busy hoovering and stuff. So I've got to take care, and it's cool, you know. It's cool, don't get me wrong, but taking care of something later on my own, I think that'd be quite a challenge for me, and I actually don't want to go do that. I love kids, don't get me wrong. I don't love all kids. I actually only love my little sister. I'm sorry, it's kind of harsh for me to say, but it's the truth. I keep it real on the channels, alright? I don't fake it. If I think I don't like a kid, then I don't like a kid. As you could probably tell in my bully video I made 4 days ago. I didn't hate the kids. They were just being rude to the little kid, man. He was on his own against 5. That's just rude, man, you know? So anyways, I think it also, I guess it takes also a lot of freedom away. You know, my brother actually, believe it or not, actually doesn't want a kid as well. He's almost 30 years. He's 29. I'm turning 19 in a couple of months. Him and his wife don't want a kid. You know, they've got it very, very busy with work. You know, they both work full time. They've got this and that to do. It's kind of a busy life. It's very busy actually. And I'm going to say something very strange. I'm going to guess that a lot of kids that people get eventually are not actually planned, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to be very honest. I think majority of people that have a kid don't actually plan it. I'm just going to say something very random. I don't have my facts on it, but I'm just going to say something very random because my brother wasn't planned. He came out of nowhere. I was planned, but then my sister also wasn't planned. Kind of odd. Middle child. I was always the plan. I was meant to be on this world. Yes. No, but it takes quite a lot of time to think of and then having to adapt to having a kid, because I kind of want my freedom to be with me. I want my freedom. And I'm not saying that a kid takes all your freedom and time, but it kind of does. You know, considering that I've got a little sister right now, it takes a lot of time of my dad and mine. Because we have to go where she has to go. So if we go to the store, she has to come with us. And that's very cool, don't get me wrong, but I can't see myself living like that later, because I just want my freedom. Now I'm quite aware that a child is priceless, and it's very, very cool. And I guess the best thing that you can receive back from your child is the love, the affection that you just can't buy, because it's just priceless. And I can definitely feel what you get. I get it, I understand the feeling, because I have a little sister, and that feeling is great. I just can't deny it, but it's great. I love the affection and the love that I receive from my little sister, and it's great to know that she realizes that she's got 2 big brothers that will be there for the rest of her life, and that are going to protect her. Because I think one thing for sure, the fact that I've got a little sister makes me more protective about her and more concerned. The same thing would be with a brother, but I kind of think in general, when you have a little sister, it really kind of does something to you. It makes you want to even protect it more, because it's a different gender, I suppose. Really, that's kind of the only reason, I think, at least in my thing. But it takes a lot of your time, but it's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But I personally don't want a kid later, man. And I know a lot of you are going to probably say, but maybe later you'll decide. Now, I'm quite aware of the fact that I don't want a kid later. Not just because, it costs money as well, because a kid costs a lot of money. Holy crap, man. Hey, I can be spending hundreds of dollars a month if I got a goddamn house to pay for every month. I'm sorry, honey, but we ain't getting that child sooner or later. Rather invest that money in, I don't know, goddamn Bitcoin. At least we can maybe get something back. You know what I mean? Now, but all jokes besides, kids cost a lot of money, man. I mean, it's ridiculous. Jesus, dude. It's a ripoff. God. I kind of look at it, it's kind of a strange comparison, but I look at a kid as a potential investment. I know this is going to sound quite strange and very odd, but I always joke around and say, well, a kid is kind of like an investment. You plan it or you don't plan it. It comes regardless. You invest your money and time in it, and you kind of hope later that you get that money back. So what I'm trying to say is, you hope that money returns in your favor later, and your kid makes a lot of money, and you're basically like, hey, I invested $125,000 of my personal money in my child, and he made it back. That is great, fantastic. You've made your money back, basically. Those kind of things. I know it's very odd. Kind of makes no sense. It probably just doesn't make any sense at all, really, to be fair. But I think it's quite a funny, cool comparison, right? It's kind of like an investment. You hope to get your money back at an eventual point. And if you can't, well, goddamn, you wasted lots of money, I suppose. No, I'm just kidding. The kids cost a lot of money. I think we can all agree on that it's quite ridiculous, man. Baby food, those kind of things, they are mad overpriced. Jeez. Small portions, but big prices, which is the very strange thing about food in the Netherlands for little kids. Like I said, I'm quite scared of losing him. I think, to be quite fair, that is the biggest fear that I've got. If I ever get a child, planned or unplanned, I just don't know what to do with it, man. I really don't know. I personally, like I said in the beginning of this video, don't think I'll be a great father at all, because I just have so many things in my mind. Now, obviously, maybe, I mean, this is just an example. Just imagine I go to bed with a woman once, and I find out she's pregnant. Motherfucker, I'm packing my bags and I'm leaving. Nah, I'm just kidding. I know a lot of people do that. I ain't gonna judge anyone on that, because I've never been in that position, and I'm quite frankly not hoping to become that person in that position, because I don't want to find out I've got a girl pregnant, to be quite fair. Thank you very much. I'm not going to speak on that situation, because I've got no experience based on it as well. Making a girl pregnant, she finds out that I'm the father, and then I leave. I ain't going to speak upon that, because I've got no experience, and I actually, quite matter of fact, don't have the right to speak on that subject, because I haven't experienced and gone through that as a individual. So I'm not going to speak on that. I'm just going to keep it respectfully neutral. I don't know how it feels like, and to be quite fair, I don't want to go through it. With all due respect said to people that have been through that, sorry, I really truly apologize for what you have been through. But don't take this as an offense. I'm not going to talk about it though, because I don't know anything. But I guess regardless of the kid, taking so much of your time, I think the best thing yet you get back from a child is their love and affection, and the fact that they appreciate you being in their life. Now, I'm quite aware of the fact you've got a lot of, not good parents in this world, and I do believe every kid should have equal rights and way of living, but unfortunately that's quite not the case, which is kind of sad, man. A lot of parents don't take good care of their children. But regardless, if I ever get a kid, if it ever happens, I hope to God it doesn't really, man. Like I said, I'm determined not to have a baby later. And if my girlfriend wants a baby later, I'm quite sorry, but I don't want a kid. I know it sounds kind of selfish from some people. Some people are going to probably call me selfish, but I genuinely don't want a kid later. Besides the fact you've got way too many people on this planet already, I don't want to make it with one person extra, or maybe two, because there are way too many people on it regardless. That's the kind of thing I think about. If I get a baby, I'm just like the other people. Overpopulation, and we don't want this on this goddamn planet, because this planet is getting destroyed every time a kid comes. I'm sorry, but you can't deny it. Every time a baby arrives, more food, more milk, more this and that. It destroys population of the animals and agriculture. I'm just going to be very honest. It destroys it, because we need more places to build food on. I'm sorry, don't get offended, but I'm speaking facts here. I hope I am. Goddamn, I don't know. The Virgin King is always right. Don't argue with me. Don't argue. You know what's quite funny? I know this is very strange and random, but I notice every time I upload my goddamn videos, I always get one dislike. I get like 50 or 60 likes, and then there's always, it's within 20 minutes, I get one dislike. I wonder who that could be. I don't know. I'm quite sure I know who that is. Or I've got a suspicion, but I'm not going to say it who it is. Or I suspect of it, but kids are awesome, don't get me wrong, but they can grow up being little punks, and it's a lot of stuff you've got to do and responsibility to become a parent. Like, especially at a young age, when my mom was pregnant, it was quite harsh, man, because they couldn't take care good of the baby, man. You know, my mom was still living with her mother, which makes kind of sense if he's 17 and a half. She got pregnant at that time with my brother. Can we just acknowledge the beauty cat in the background? Meow. Imagine the black cat coming up. They make a heck of a noise when they go on the stairs. It's ridiculous, but my mom was pregnant at that time, right? It actually wasn't planned, like I said in the video a couple of times. But I do believe, and I'm actually quite grateful, the fact that my brother was there first, because I genuinely do believe that my brother made the relationship very strong to this day. And it's a good thing, a very good thing in this case. Sometimes it's negative, but this case it was actually very good, and I'm quite happy the fact that my brother was there. Because maybe my parents would have never been together if it wasn't for my brother to be there first. If I would be here first, could have been that I had a different father or different mother. Could have been, You've got to realize that. It could have been different. But a kid is awesome regardless. But you've got to take so much responsibilities to take care of a child, and you've got to teach them these things, which I don't mind doing them. I genuinely don't. But I kind of don't want them, man, because I just kind of want to live my life the way I want it to live. And like I said, I'm just quite frankly scared of losing my child later. That's quite frankly the biggest thing that I fear, is losing my child, really. Or they losing me. It's something I've always been quite scared of. You know, and I just don't want to go through that as a parent. I just can't imagine it. And if you're watching this and you've lost your child, I'm deeply sorry for you, and my condolences are with you, honestly. They are. Can't imagine what you must have gone through, or maybe are going through. But I'm praying for you, just letting you know. Bless you, alright? I know. I say I know, but I really have no clue what it feels like. And I don't want to go through that feeling in life maybe one time. Because I've already lost a little sister 4 years ago. Well, to be quite fair, she wasn't born, but I lost her. Her name was going to be Riley. At least I was going to call her Riley, of The Last of Us, Ellie and Riley, DLC, Fireflies. Till I found out she actually wasn't going to make it, and that hurt me quite bad, very, very bad, for weeks, maybe even 2-3 months. And that kind of made me think, geez, if this can happen to my mother, it can also happen to me later if I ever get a child. This can happen. So yeah, it's also a reason, man. I'm just scared of it. My wife or girlfriend later giving birth, and damn, I just don't want to go through that yet again. I really just don't. But yeah, we're going to end this video. I hope I explained it to you guys why I just don't want a kid later, man. Really, not because, well, yeah, I'm kind of selfish, I guess you could say. But some people just like me are, to be quite fair, not ready for having a kid later, or just don't want to have a kid later and take the responsibility. Because I just, if the day ever comes that I'm an accident, I swear to God, I will take care of that child regardless of the situation. I would. But I'm just going to hope that situation never actually comes. And maybe I'll go change my mind later. I could always change my mind, but I'm just sticking with my plan, to be very honest with you guys. So yeah, I'm going to end this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video on KEEGAN'S podcast. Again, this channel is becoming very, very good at the moment, and I want to keep the momentum up. Kind of daily uploads, I suppose. Really, well, no, not daily uploads, but we've got videos coming out 5 times a week, minimum 5 times on this channel a week. So I'm going to end this video. I hope I explained it good enough for you guys. Let me know down in the comments if you ever want to have a kid, or kids later, or if you've got kids, what it feels like having a kid yourself, having to take that responsibility of taking care of a child, what it feels like, and what you get back from it. But yeah, like I said, I can't imagine having a kid right now, because I just don't have experience with kids. Like, really, I've got no experience on life, and I think that's quite dangerous at this age, be having a kid. You have no experience, life experience, because you're just very young, you know. So I'm glad I haven't got a baby at this age, especially. Man, I just wouldn't be able to make these kind of videos. I swear to God, I wouldn't have been able to make these videos and upload them so often on YouTube. I couldn't have done it if I was a parent right now, because that means that I had to take my baby to sleep right now. Whew. Praying for y'all that have a baby at my age. Gosh. Anyways, I'm going to end this video. Thank you guys so much. I just want to say I have an ASMR store roleplay coming out on the ASMR channel in a couple of hours. So you definitely want to go stay tuned. I have a Starbucks coffee review / mukbang video coming out tomorrow on Keegan Mukbangs. And I have a new video on this channel coming out tomorrow, the exact same time. So thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video, man. Hey, peace out. Stay tuned.